squad on that real. Yeah. The other night, lavishly told me that I'm all these people listen to. She said they love me unconditional. Imagine how I feel to watch another at the top. You know that if you wasn't you, you would be dissing you, dog. Damn. Okay, from that perspective, I see what you're talking about.
It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we've got the Bengals' speedy running back. He'll be a focal point of his offense this week. It's the Bengals and the Packers on Monday Night Prime Time.
We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gunn. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They've been playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they come in mired in a brutal stretch right now. Losers of 8 straight games.
Can you imagine going 2 straight months without winning a game and still trying to hold it together? They've got to find some inspiration somewhere that can lead them to a victory.
Now the kicker, that's Cameron Dicker, set to get us started. And off we go to wrap up a busy weekend of football. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. Under center, it'll be the Southern California native standing at 6'4", Sam Darnold.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie, one of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
To about the 33-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 18 carries, 68 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
From the 33, here's a 2nd down and 6. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on 2nd down. A play fake, and it's Darnold. A throw left sideline falls incomplete. You know, Charles, for this defense, look, it's no secret. You're facing a team that is really, really struggling. They haven't won in what seems like forever, but sometimes a desperate team can be a dangerous team, right?
You're exactly right about that, but they shouldn't be. When they're on that type of a losing streak, it's incumbent upon you to take charge of this game early and not give them any reason to hope. Get out and attack them and make sure you knock them back on their butts.
A 3-yard gain and enough for the 1st down. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the 1st down. Avoiding that 3 and out, how vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. This defense for the Bengals, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
Well, every lineman knows the rule. You only get a 1-yard buffer beyond that line of scrimmage, and then the flag is thrown, and he got tagged for it there. 4 receivers now in the formation. 3 to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 7. Faking the give, Darnold. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Third and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction. Darnold. And the pressure gets to him again. Christian Barmore getting in there to drop him. Now make that a second sack here, their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
But they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And leading them out is their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Alabama.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And that play going absolutely no.
And not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. And taken at the 46. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
2nd and 9. Here's Darnold. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. And all the way inside the 15. Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. And we'll get a moment here as they look this one over.
Yeah, remember now, the call on the field is what they'll stick with unless they have clear video evidence to the contrary. And I give these officials a lot of credit. Such a tough and demanding job. You and I both know that. Yeah, they make the right call way more often than they get it wrong.
Ruling on the field stands.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have one challenge remaining. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. A give, Dobbins trying the right side. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. J.K. Dobbins, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. Carlson's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Bengals offense and receiver Malik Neighbors headed onto the field. And he's been a tough guy to contain this year, and his numbers reflect that, as you can see right here. The Bengals drive about to get going. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Here's a 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Kidd, not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Play action. It's Darnold. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete. You talk about this Bengals defense. They were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. It's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now it's Darnold. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. A little jet sweep to start the drive. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
I think the reason this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already. So he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
They'll run on first down. Kidd. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. The Bengals had 7-4 on the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. Third down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
On third down, Kidd. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Off play action. Kitchen. That's caught. It's Sam Laporta. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Call it a gain of 14 for the second play in a row. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Oh, the motion comes too late. And this is going to be a delay. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Now a give right side. Kidd. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 42 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Flushed out right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. They run the counter. Kidd. And he will possibly get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. On the other hand, it will definitely take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. Bad place to fumble down here in the red zone. At least they got it. They'll have another shot. Or no, they won't have another shot. It's going to be 4th down. Maybe they can at least salvage 3.
And they were thinking 6 points because at this position of the field, it's go time, right? You take your shots at the end zone. They weren't able to do that one. So you look over at the sideline, there's the head coach saying, oh, heck, kick Whole time.
Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal from the right hash, and this one just a chipping. And his kick here is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD. And it comes on the third drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far. Finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. In motion goes the tight end. Here's Darnold.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what. So they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They need to make up some ground, and they did.
Back to throw, Darnold. Flush to his, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
That was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. On now is the Packers punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Up the middle they go. Kidd. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st.
Back to throw. Kitchen. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
It'll be a 41-yard punt, give them 5 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Off of play action, Darnold.
Pass complete there to Nakua.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
He's got a man complete. And he takes this all the way inside the Cincy 20. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 51 yards. That reception, it brings him up to the 700 plateau. He's at 700 career NFL catches now.
And that club in baseball, a rather exclusive club, and one we talk about all the time. In football, put you in the top 50 all-time range. Not so bad either.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it second down. Here comes Dobbins on the toss right. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Now Darnold. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Tyler Lockett hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to extend their lead. Carlson's extra point up and good, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a Tyler Lockett touchdown. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Kitchen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the 1st. They're going to try and throw.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
They'll try to draw here with Dobbins. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
A stoppage here for an injury, and not what you want to see. J.K. Dobbins in a little bit of pain after that last play. A first carry for Elijah Mitchell.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on.
But once again, it's Mitchell.
Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down. He opted to go with the scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt.
That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance. There's something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
And he takes this near the 25, just a little past there. Call it the 26.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
In need of only about the length of the football here on second down.
They'll keep it on the ground. Kidd.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First down now, but that clock rolling. Now a handoff up the middle. Kidd, and he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. He tore Gross Matos there to bring him down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Back to throw. Kitchen.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Kitchen. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Then their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Packers will take over here just shy of the 30.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
The Packer offense heading back for one final first half drive. And with a 17-3 cushion already, we'll see how aggressive they want to be.
After the interception, here's Darnold. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And this will be a Packers first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts.
as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving. Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Darnold now to throw. Going to be taken in here by Nakua. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Eluding the pressure right. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. So we've come to halftime here. Halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the third quarter and continue this midseason contest. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Bengals offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. In the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense has thrown at them. And now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Right back to him on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want. And other times, the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And quickly, they get to the line.
A loss of 2 brings up 3rd and 10.
And we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Trey Hendrickson make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
His throw incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. And that is incomplete.
Just a disaster of the series here. 3rd and long, no one open anywhere. This ball just has to be thrown to the sideline.
On now is the Packers punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. $40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return. The Bengals offense getting set and ready to go again here. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Bengals drive about to get going. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a second and just a few inches left. Up the middle they go. Kidd. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Running right, here's Brown. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 22-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
He gets his first catch there, but all in all, when you're talking about the #1 receiver in the NFL coming into this game, and we're just talking about the first catch there, I think they're doing a nice job of bottling him up.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Kitchen. That one taken in by Neighbors. And all the way down inside the 5 with a 4. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting.
And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Chase Brown taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Bengals are back within a score.
No touchdowns for them in the first half, but their defense kept them in this ball game. So now, maybe this can loosen them up a little because they played tight so far, and they get right back in it with a touchdown run.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that slices the lead down to 17-10. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Packers ready to take over offensively. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Hitting Mayer here on the out route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. On now is the Packers punter, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
2nd and 8 coming from the 19. Looking to throw. Kitchen. That's complete. It's Neighbors. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
And throwing the catch were just fine, but again, zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Credit Yaya Diaby with the stop. They work now on 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Kitchen. Over the middle, it's complete. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
From the gun on 3rd down. Kitchen. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Fielded at about the 28. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. 3rd quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. A play fake, and it's Darnold. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Darnold. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Just for baseball, we call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. Now 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Kitchen. He'll look underneath and finds Brown. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. From the gun on 3rd down. Kitchen over the middle, taken in by Neighbors. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
From the gun on 3rd down. Kitchen. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Will McDonald gets in there to take him down. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. So a change of possession here on the punt. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Shoves him aside. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
Now, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
From the 43, it's 2nd and 3. Faking the give, Darnold. Caught by Mayer. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. Here's Darnold. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Azeez Ojulari charges in there hard and drops him for a loss of 12 from that outside linebacker position.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Christian Barmore able able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
On now is the Packers punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Throwing to start the drive. Kitchen. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for him there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
And his throw is incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
On third down, here's Eckler. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Kitchen.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I like the call. It looked like the right time to dial up a running back screen. But this one got disrupted right from the start and ends up falling incomplete.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
From the gun on 3rd down, Kitchen. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. An inside give. Brown takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Operating from the gun. Kitchen. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 19. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
And we got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
Looking to throw. Kitchen. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown.
Malik Neighbors.
A 16-yard touchdown.
And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes.
And we are set up for a fantastic finish now. A fourth quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for two, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Dicker down and tack on the extra point. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a Bengals score. What a way to wrap up the week in the NFL. All tied on this Monday night as the kick is away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Green Bay's offense ready to go again.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Darnold. They set up the screen for Dobbins.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Here's Darnold. He has Mayer complete.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down. Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest game we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Darnold to throw. It gets it right back to Mayer.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Michael Mayer.
41 yards.
And the Packers answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the fourth. Carlson's extra point up and good.
And they will take a 7-point lead. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
So now the Bengals down by 7, a little over a minute to go. A possible crippling loss to their playoff status in the balance, barring a late score. They'll look to throw. Looking right sideline, that's complete.
And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
He'll look to throw.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Packers have just about sewn up this football game.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the fourth.
Another run on second down, trying to cover up.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
On third down, here's Dobbins.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it. One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They're not out of it yet, but in order to come back, they need to play clean football the rest of the way. He makes a correct read there, passing on challenging a blanket coverage and getting the 1st down with his legs instead. Back to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a 1-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort. Another try, 2nd and 10 now. He's back to throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And his ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime. Obviously, the excitement level here is almost a fever pitch. Down 1 is tempted to go for 2. I say you go ahead and kick the extra point. You got the home crowd carried into overtime. I'm with you. I do see some fans, though, holding up 2 fingers. Easy now. Yeah, but they're not the ones who have to actually make that call, are they? So now this to get them back to even heading into the break. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. So now this to get them back to even heading into the break. He has got it. So barring something crazy on the kickoff, we're looking at an extra period to decide this one. So overtime on the horizon, barring a wild finish here as the kick's away. Four quarters not enough. We're all even. And everyone who's watching the game, how much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled? And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football. That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point. So advantage Packers here. They'll possess the ball first with a chance to win it here in overtime.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. Charles, you think back to halftime, they had the big lead. They were in control of this game. They lost that lead. But ultimately right now, with the ball in overtime, a chance to win this thing.
And you know each guy's telling his teammate, just let it go. Don't worry about it. We're starting fresh right here. What happened before does not matter. What happens right now and going forward, that's what matters. Let's find a way to win this game.
Going to be taken in here by Nakua.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. Two guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
We'll play only the one overtime here. If time runs out, it'll be a tie as they come up on second down. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And this will be a Packers first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
Well, you know they had a third down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
Now Darnold. To the right side, here's Mayer.
He's still on his feet. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
They go back to that well. He's had a great game. Defensively, they haven't been able to stop him. Same thing here in overtime.
And sometimes that goes to the play caller's ego, because a lot of times you have so many different plays you want to call. But when you spot a matchup that's working for you or a player that has the hot hand, keep giving it to him. That tells me you're mature as a play caller, and it's working for them in overtime.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they said, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes. Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Here's a give to Dobbins running right.
Down to the 30 after a gain of 3. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
And his kick is good. And they have regained the lead. That was a big risk here in overtime. It sent him out to fire away from long distance, but he knocks it through to give him the lead.
Edgy, don't you think? Because if he misses there, ball goes to the spot of the kick, correct?
Yep.
And guess what? That only leaves about, 20 yards or so for them to go downfield and be in position themselves. So you have confidence in him, and you have confidence in your defense to go ahead and let him kick that one.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Ready to go on offense. Out come the Bengals. Well, it's pretty simple now. They need a field goal out of this drive to extend overtime, or obviously, Charles, a touchdown to win it.
Yeah, and I'm taking the defense's perspective on this one, partner, because now they know with a 3-point lead, they can afford to give that up because you just keep playing, right? The overtime gets extended. But if you give up the touchdown, it's game over. So on offense, every play you make, you've got to try and get just a little bit more out of each one in order to try and get to the end zone, because they're going to play everyone back, keep everything in front.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week.
And the ball is knocked out, and the Packers pick it up. And
his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. And now, meanwhile, after the dust settles on the fumble, we've got an injured player here as well. And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles.